My girlfriend's called me up and said, Curt, would you take a look in the National Enquirer this week? Has some wrestling news in there. Well, I went down to the store and I bought one, and as I looked through it, I saw that they had the top 20 syndicated shows throughout the country. And it just so happens that number 12 is All-Star Wrestling Network. And it says here, Larry Nelson, that your yearly income is $60,000. How can you even get by on that?
You let me worry about my financial situation. It's
well,
not
the whole world knows you make that much money. Anyways, what I want to say here is that all them ratings were done before I became the heavyweight champion of the world. And now that I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, things are going to pick up, and the All-Star Wrestling Network is going to be moved to number 1. And that also means that you could make $60 grand a week. You can thank me later for that.
$60,000.
Hey, I went out with Vanna White last week. She told me what kind of number 1 rated show gets. She makes $1 million a year. I'll get you $60 grand a week. Don't worry. What I really want to talk about, though, is professional wrestling and what's going down throughout the world of professional wrestling. We've seen a lot of people out here talking about they're the total packages in professional wrestling. They can wrestle, they can talk, and they look good. Well, let me tell you something straight and simple. Professional wrestling isn't built just on good bodies. It isn't built just on good looks. It's built on wrestling. Getting down on the mat and digging down and finding out what's inside of you. Well, it just so happens I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Well, this is the present. 1988 is a new year. And this year and years to come, the name that is going to be remembered is Curt Hennig. And I want everybody standing out there right now watching this to remember one thing. I'm the greatest going down today. If you have a chance to see me, don't miss it. You won't regret it.
Ever since the man that I'm going to be talking to arrived on the scene, he's really been stirring the pot, and you can smell it just about everywhere you go. Curt Hennig, come on in.
Gene, this is almost a joke to me. I mean, you know what a great wrestler I am.
Well, of course I know. You're a very good wrestler. I've never denied that.
I am the best.
You're very good.
You have come a long way. I do admit that you come from here to here, but you're never going to make it to here. And this is where I stand, because anybody that knows anything about wrestling knows that when it comes to being down and dirty, fighting, wrestling, scratching, beating, whatever you have to get the job done.
I'm the best.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm the best. Don't start stealing my lines.
You know what my problem is, if there's any? That problem would be that I'm good and I know it. And you know, you talk about all the other competition in the World Wrestling Federation. This belt is what makes me different. Intercontinental champion. You want to talk about intensity levels? You want to talk about men that go out of their mind? You want to talk about men that have power and have strength and have speed and have brains and have been coached?
Take a minute out and think for yourself what it would be like to go through life absolutely perfect, with no flaws, no blemishes. Every single thing you do is absolutely perfect. When you're looking at the man who was born with the sign of perfection that hangs over him, and the man who likes to take advantage of people, a man who likes to meet people at their own game. You better take a good look, because I have an unblemished record. I have a perfect record. Nobody's beaten me. I have no flaws. I have no blemishes. But if you really stop and think about it, what would you expect from Mr. Perfect? Take a look at Mr. Perfect. From top to bottom, no flaws. Big smile on my face, not out of place. You know why? Because I enjoy what I'm doing. What I enjoy doing is beating people at their own game. How about I slap you upside the head and talk to your eardrum? Maybe we'll get something oozing out the inside coming out. Bottom line is, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. And you better remember that.
And anybody that's ever been inside the ring with me knows that I am by far the greatest. Yeah, you're big, you're strong, you're tough. You wrestle Mr. Perfect, you might get nicked because I'm as sharp as you are. I'm better than you, I'm bigger than you, and nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.
I'm not a piece of garbage, little boy. And I'll tell you what, you think you're a threat to Mr. Perfect, you're wrong. I've knocked guys out bigger than you left and right like nothing. This is Mr. Perfect, the greatest athlete in the world wrestling. Now forget about it. I'm going to take you and slap you upside the head so many times, you're not going to know if I'm coming from the north, south, east, west. I'll all be at the same time. Who knows? Something big's going to happen. You know what? What's that? Perfect assessment from Mr. Perfect.
This is the opportunity that Mr. Perfect and the whole World Wrestling Federation been waiting for. For I am what I say I am. I say I'm perfect. And I say you're a long way from being perfect. When you look at all the credentials and the past of victims I've left behind me, there's only one thing left to fulfill Mr. Perfect's destiny, and that's to be the perfect World Wrestling Federation champion. Don't anybody ever forget it. I am absolutely perfect. A lot of changes happening in the World Wrestling Federation. You're standing under the brightest light ever. You are the new World Wrestling Federation champion. When I look at you and I see a man all painted up, a man who looks to the skies for power, I say to myself, this man's a long way from being perfect. And I know all the little warriors throughout the country, the ones that ride your back, are the ones that think they're safe. You take a good look at Mr. Perfect. You find a flaw in this body, you've made a mistake. What you're really looking at is the next World Wrestling Federation champion. Is that perfect or what?
Perfect.